When your business is not going the way you want it to go and you're not making the money that you want to make and things just are not popping in the internet streets like you thought your business would, there are three things I do not recommend that you do to grow your business. And today we're going to talk all about it. What's up, guys? It's your girl Brianna Queen, and I help service-based entrepreneurs sell their services consistently and authentically. And today, you guessed it, we are talking about three things I do not recommend that you do when your business is not popping the way you want it to pop. So let's go ahead and, of course, let's get into it. As a service provider, one thing that you absolutely must do is you must get your business in front of new people. You must market your business, whether that is referrals, where someone else is marketing it for you, whether that is getting on video, ads, whatever that may be. You have to get your business in front of new prospects and turn them into clients. But what happens when you are marketing your service and you're hearing crickets? It's like tumbleweeds, like your bank account is dry as a bowl of weedy cereal without the milk. Like, what happens? One thing that a lot of new entrepreneurs, they want to do is launch something new when they haven't successfully sold their first offer. And there's something that you do not want to do. You do not want to launch a brand new offer when you haven't even successfully sold the offer that you already have. And the reason being is because, which makes sense, you have the service and nobody's biting. So you're like, if nobody's biting, then let me launch a new service and hopefully, people will want that service. And what tends to happen is when you launch this new service, you want to actually price it even lower than your other offer. So now you have, this service that you really wanted to sell, nobody was biting. So you're like, I'm going to launch a whole nother offer, and this offer I'm going to make cheaper, because why would you make an offer more expensive if your first offer is not even selling? So a lot of times when your business is not popping in the street, you may get this urge to want to create a totally different offer. And I strongly recommend not doing that, especially if you have not successfully sold your first offer. And the reason being is because a lot of times if you have an offer and nobody's biting, it's not that you need to have a new offer. It may be the marketing. It may be how you package it up. It may be how you describe it. For example, you may be describing your offer as you help women brand themselves. Where if a girl doesn't know that she's struggling with branding, then you may need to repackage your offer and say, I help you create a business that stands out among your competitors. Technically, standing out is a component of branding, but perhaps your ideal client, they don't say branding, they say stand out online. So sometimes you don't even need to launch a new offer. Usually you don't need to launch a new offer. Usually the issue is just something's going on. Something's not clicking with your offer and your ideal client. But instead of feeling like my business is not successful the way I want it to be successful, I need to launch a new service. Instead of doing that, first, think about, okay, why is this offer not successful? What do I need to do? How do I need to change it? Inside my program on complicated sales, I really have my students not just assume they know what prospects want, not just assume they know what's going to sell, but they have to do some serious market research. Like, all of the students are like, oh, there's a lot of market research, but they do it and they have this amazing packaged, irresistible offer. So when you have an offer that's not selling, instead of feeling like you need to launch a completely different offer, sometimes it's just the marketing. Sometimes you just have to sell it differently. Sometimes it's the seasons. I had a student who was a teacher and she helped other teachers become more organized. Well, she launched this offer in May and nobody was biting. Nobody was signing up. Nobody was engaging in her content. And the offer was solid, but the issue was the timing. In May, teachers are not worried about being organized. They are just trying to enjoy their summer break. They are not trying to focus on that. They are exhausted. So having this offer in May, it didn't make sense because most teachers, they are tired. Whereas launching this offer in August or September, when teachers are back to really starting to plan their classrooms, it made more sense. So sometimes it has nothing to do with you. Sometimes it's just the season that you launch it. So that is why I recommend, before you decide to start a whole nother offer and create a brand new offer, to really just go back to the drawing board with your original offer and think about, why is this offer not working? Do I have research backing this offer up? And is there anything that I can be doing differently to make this offer more successful? Another mistake new business owners make when their business is not doing the way they want it to do is they think they are too expensive. And that tends to not be the case. So one thing I do not recommend is lowering your prices just because your business is not doing as great as you think it should, especially when you are barely getting by. So instead of automatically feeling like, okay, well, I need to price myself even lower, think about these three things. Are you doing a good job articulating the value of your offer? Sometimes, oftentimes, it's not the price, it's just that you're not communicating the value of the offer that you have. Here's the thing, people pay based on their perceived value. And if they feel like your offer is super valuable, they will pay that price. If they don't feel like your offer is super valuable, or they feel like your offer is not a good fit for them or it's not worth it, then they won't pay that price. But before feeling like you have to lower your price, especially when you know deep down you already priced super low, instead of feeling like you need to price yourself lower, think about how are you articulating the value of your offer? And are you articulating the value of your offer and communicating the value of your offer well enough that your prospect feels like it's worth them exchanging their money for? Because at the end of the day, selling is all about influencing someone to make a decision to solve, eliminate, diminish a problem. So are you communicating and are you influencing your prospects that you can actually solve, eliminate, or diminish the problem that they have? Number two, ask yourself if your offer is priced the way it's priced because of everybody else. I strongly do not recommend only pricing yourself because of your competitors, because your competitors may be underpriced as well and you're underpriced as well. I do not recommend, having this race to the bottom competition where you are pricing yourself super low just because your competitor is low, or feeling like, okay, well, my competitor charges $5,000, so I'm going to charge $3,000, so I am a no-brainer to my prospects. I do not recommend having that race to the bottom where the way you differentiate yourself from others is being super cheap. Because again, if you're super cheap, people's perceived value is going to be, it may not be that great. It must not be that great. It may not be as awesome as this other offer. And they may end up running to your competitor for simple fact that they feel like if I pay more, I'm going to get more. So don't feel like you need to price yourself lower just because you're not getting the business that you want to get. And then sometimes new and current service providers, they want to price themselves lower because maybe someone told them they were too expensive. Maybe they got on a sales call and the person was like, oh, I can't afford you. Maybe they're not getting any sales calls. Think about, okay, if you want to price yourself lower because someone told you that you was too expensive, is that person who told you that you was too expensive, are they even a good fit for your program? Inside my program, Uncomplicated Sales, I tell students that, you're going to have ideal clients and you're going to have clients that are not a good fit for you. Clients that are not a good fit for you, they may feel like you're too expensive. They may not be a good fit for your program. They may be bargain shoppers and they just want the best deal. That may not be the best client for you. So when you're thinking that you have to price yourself less than you already are, and the reason why is because somebody told you that you was too expensive, well, that person that told you that you was too expensive, do you even want them as a client? Because when I first started, I lowered my rates because I just really wanted to get more clients, and I got more clients, and a lot of those clients were nightmare clients. I was doing all this work for this little amount of money and it was not worth it. The amount I made at the end was not worth it. They were calling me all the time, texting me. They were never satisfied. They wanted me to do all these things that were outside of the work that I did, and it was like, man, I definitely should have priced myself higher for all the work that I'm doing at this lower amount of money. I'm doing more work. When you're thinking to yourself, do I need to cheapen, or do I need to cut my prices in half because so-and-so said I need to? The person who told you that you need to, is this the kind of person that you even want in your business? Is this even your ideal client? Think about that as well. Because sometimes someone will tell you that you're too cheap, but in reality, they're too cheap. Or they may tell you that they don't see the value in your offer, and it's simply because they are not your ideal client. They will never see the value in your offer because they are not your ideal client. And I really want to stress the importance of having a service that attracts your ideal client and not just everyone. Because when you have a business and you attract everyone, you will get no one, or you will get clients that you do not enjoy. So I strongly recommend when you have this service, like it should attract your ideal client and it should repel those who are not going to be a good fit for you. Don't get caught up in the I want to attract every single person to my business because that means I'm going to get more sales. Because two things will happen. Either you will attract no one because you're trying to attract everyone, or two, you will attract everyone and you will not be happy because the quality of clients that you will get, you will not like. You will not enjoy it. You will not like the job that you do. So I do strongly recommend, if your business is not going the way you want it to go, one way that you should not think to grow your business is by reducing the price of your offer, especially when you know that your offer is already cheap and you are barely getting by as it is. Oh no, my little. One thing you should not do to grow your business is give up. Give up. Give up. And not just give up on the business, but give up on the things that actually bring you new prospects. I'll give the example of, let's say you start getting on video, right? And you're doing video and your engagement drops or nobody likes these videos. More than likely, a lot of people, they feel like, oh, I'm not getting the engagement, I'm just not going to post anymore, right? Or, they're starting to post on Instagram, IGTV videos, and they're feeling like, you know what, I'm not getting the engagement, I'm not getting the likes, I'm not getting the traffic, I'm just going to stop doing it altogether. And I do not recommend giving up on your strategy. One thing that you do need in your business, and I said at the very beginning, is you have to get your business in front of new people. So if you feel like your business is not getting in front of new people when you're posting, or you're sending emails, or you're getting on video, you're more motivated to give up and just not do it. And I don't recommend that. I recommend, before you feel like, oh, I need to give up and not do this strategy anymore, do this plan, do this framework, instead, think about what are some ways I can improve, right? But here's the thing. Let's say that your ideal client, she works in corporate, right? Like she's a higher up. It will make no sense for you to do lives at 2 p.m. when she'd probably be at work. She wouldn't be able to tune in. It would make better sense to have your lives later in the evening when your ideal client will be home and available to watch it. On the flip side, maybe your ideal client is mothers. Instead of having your IG lives at 8 p.m. when mothers tend to be busy, tucking their kids into sleep, cleaning, cooking, doing all those things, it may make more sense to have your live during, 11 a.m. or 1 p.m. So instead of you just feeling like, oh, I'm doing these IG lives, or I'm doing these videos and I'm not getting the engagement, I'm not getting people on here, I'm just going to give up. Instead of doing that, stop and think about, what are some ways you can improve? What are some ways you can fix it? A lot of times the strategy is not wrong. The strategy is not incorrect. It just needs to be improved. It just needs to be tweaked. And you do that by looking and seeing, what are some ways I can improve it? When you get on live, when you get on video, when you post, when you do these things, you may not get those instant results. You may not get that instant gratification. Your first video may not get 1 million views or 1,000 views, or heck, your first video may not even get 10 views. But the power is doing. The power is do the work until it works. Ask yourself, okay, I did, video 4 times this week, and I noticed I did video 4 times this week, and I had more people reaching out to me when I did a video on this topic as opposed to this topic. Or I went live once this week and I noticed that when I went live at 2 p.m., I didn't get very many people watching a video even on replay. But when I went live on Friday, I got a lot of replays and I got people actually reaching out to me wanting to work with me. So really start tracking that. And that's something that I really recommend my students in my program. It's like, don't give up. Don't throw in the towel. Don't say, oh, I'm not getting the engagement that I want, so I'm just going to stop doing it altogether. Resist that urge to give up. Instead of give up, sit down, go back to the drawing board, ask yourself, what are some ways I can improve? If your business is not making the money that you want it to make, if you're not getting new clients, if something is just not working for you, instead of giving up, ask yourself first, how are some ways I can improve? What are some things I need to do to improve? Maybe the answer is hiring a coach. Maybe the answer is enrolling in a program so that you have the tools, the resources, the support, as well as a person who can help you get to that next level. Maybe the answer is investing as opposed to just giving up and feeling like, oh, I'm never going to do this. I'm not going to succeed. I need to lower my prices. I need to give up. I need to have 57,000 offers. A lot of times the answer is not that. It's not reducing the price. It's not having a billion offers, and it's definitely not just get thrown in the towel. So go back to the drawing board, ask yourself, what are some things that I can do to improve, and improve it little by little, improve it. Say, okay, I'm gonna start going live once a week on Tuesday. Track it, give it some time. Does it work for you? With me, I am constantly testing out new things. I'm constantly tweaking. Yes, I have a strategy and I keep this strategy. Like, yes, I have a way that I get clients and it's a very successful way, and I teach it inside of my program, Uncomplicated Sales, but I tweak little stuff. I tweak when I go live. I tweak when I release emails. I tweak when I post my videos. I tweak the content that I provide. Maybe a certain type of content my audience loves more than another type of content. I do that. I tweak, I improve. I'm always looking for ways to improve and to get better in my business and to make my business better. So here are 3 things you should not do to grow your business. Launching more offers when you are not successful with the offer that you already have. Feeling like you need to reduce your prices, especially when you know you are underpriced and struggling as it is. And then number 3, feeling like you need to give up altogether instead of trying to find ways to improve. So if you are looking for a system to sell your services consistently, I do have a program. It's called Uncomplicated Sales, and it's all about helping you market, sell, and raise your rate so that you have a business that's sustainable, that is profitable, and that works for you. If you're interested in that program, go to uncomplicatedSales.com and sign up for my free masterclass. So I'll talk to you guys in my very next video or podcast episode. And if you're watching this via video, check me out. The podcast is Brianna Queen Podcast. And if you're watching this via the podcast, check out the YouTube videos, Brianna Queen Business. All right. So give me 5 stars, a like, comment down below. Let's chat. And of course, I'll talk to you guys in my very next episode. Bye, guys.